Welcome to the main arena at the National Exhibition Centre on the outskirts of Birmingham. A very big occasion here. Some very famous faces are at ringside. Big Frank Bruno, who's had his share of world title fights. Paul Gascoigne, fresh from the match at Goodison this afternoon. Gaza is with us here at the NEC as well. Linford Christie, the quickest man in Europe, looking to see if Nigel Benn can produce a quick knockout here. And Terry Marsh, what a reception he got here at the NEC. I feel sure he'll be back in action very soon. Hello, good evening to you. It really is a very special occasion here at the NEC. Personally, I've never known opinions so sharply divided about a world title fight. Some of you going for Nigel Benn because of his punching power. Benn, a man with the dynamite in his fist, really, the reigning champion. Chris Eubank, the challenger from Brighton down there on the south coast, a very different type of personality. Total self-belief has Chris, and a very awkward style indeed. But Eubank absolutely convinced a slugger can never beat a craftsman.
Whenever Nigel Benn's in the ring, you're guaranteed high excitement. His first defence against Iran Barclay in Las Vegas in August. It only lasted a round. Benn was shaken up. Barclay was beaten up. Benn's Britain's first ever WBO champion. He knocked Barclay off his feet 3 times. A brief but very effective encounter. Now, Benn's had his battles outside the ring as well with the British board. Angered by their refusal to allow his manager Ambrose Mendy to work his corner, Benn ripped up his licence. Now there's an uneasy peace. Ambrose Mendy will with the champion tonight. Chris Eubank's a very different sort of fighter. He says he's misunderstood. He's super confident, not arrogant. In contrast to Benn, Eubank isn't a big puncher, but his last victim, the Brazilian Ronaldo dos Santos, would dispute that. He lasted under 20 seconds. Eubank's record, 24 fights, 24 wins. It's a genuine grudge match. Benn and Eubank certainly won't be exchanging Christmas cards. Benn's the biggest attraction in British boxing. Stand and fight. The video's out next week.
They ring the bell, time to go to war. When you hear 9-10, ain't me on the floor, cause I'm the warrior that makes you sorrier. The destroyer, I will annoy ya. So good night, my friend, and amen. Telling me just met Big Bad Ben.
Chris Eubank's called Benn a coward and an ignorant puncher. He's convinced he'll win.
Take the man's punching power away, and he's not in my class, which is pain to see. But obviously we can't do that because he has got that punching power. So therefore what you have here is the competent intellectual boxer against the shallow-minded puncher. And so for all you people out there who've bet your money on Nigel, it was a bad bet. Regardless of the outcome, it was a bad bet. Because the puncher never beats the boxer. At least he never beats the competent boxer.
Well then, is he bluffing or is he the real thing? Will Nigel Benn punch a very big hole through all that bravado? The two fighters are just outside waiting to enter the arena here. I know you're going to rejoin us at the NEC for some outstanding action. We're back in a couple of minutes.
Henry is crucial, too cool and well outright.
It's just about a full house here at the NEC. Got to be over 10,000 people inside this arena. And really, what an atmosphere too. The sort of atmosphere really that makes the old hair stand up on the back of your neck. It's a big occasion, this one, a really big domestic scrap, and as you'll have heard at the start, a grudge match as well between Chrissy Eubank from Brighton. Not everyone's cup of tea, a bit strutting and a bit arrogant. Had a long talk with him in the gymnasium where he's working hard down there in East London on Thursday, and he said, I'm not arrogant, I'm just a very, very confident fellow. He is totally convinced, Chris Eubank, he's going to be the new champion. What a noise behind me as Eubank makes his way towards the ring here at the NEC. And really, everyone peering and waiting for the gladiators to come into the ring. Chris Eubank, I think I caught sight of him a few moments ago, and he might be just submerged somewhere in that crowd. He's going to be the underdog here, is Chris Eubank. His followers know that. They know that Benn is a more popular fighter, has got more crowd appeal, and has sold probably more tickets here. But the Eubank camp feel that will inspire their man. 24-0 is Chris Eubank, but a lot of people on that record are under the caliber that Nigel Benn has fought in his career. And there, Chris Eubank with his trainer Ronnie Davis just in front of him in the red tracksuit. Eubank, simply the best, his anthem. Totally composed, totally his own man. He doesn't take advice kindly. I was with Barry McGuigan at a press conference earlier this week when McGuigan went to offer him some advice about the fight tonight, and he said, "Thank you very much, Barry. I know what I'm going to do. Please don't tell me anything." Chris Eubank, like Nigel Benn, has been over to America to learn his trade. He knew he was going to get this. He's totally prepared for it. Here comes the challenger. Chris Eubank. He's bet £1,000 at 40-1. He will finish it in the first round. Here comes the Dark Destroyer. That's the 2nd Battalion of the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers, and 4 drummers lining the route. Nigel Benn was a Lance Corporal in the 1st Battalion, boxed as a welterweight in the army. He was undefeated, and I'm sure his old battalion will be watching ITV at their base in Canterbury in Kent. We're promised quite an entry from Nigel Benn. First, if you can hear me above the roar, a touch of Phil Collins in the air tonight. And goodness me, there's high excitement in the Midlands air tonight, I can tell you. Well, Nigel Benn keeping us all waiting. Remember, and here he comes, the champion with the WBO belt, and his manager Ambrose Mendy. What a reception for Nigel Benn. They're already threatening to raise the roof here at the NEC, and they haven't thrown a punch yet. This one looks as though it's going to live up to all its hype. Nigel Benn, let's just wait for the reception he gets as he climbs into that ring. Ambrose Mendy with a few calming words, perhaps. Nigel Benn has said he hates his opponent. We shall see. Let's join your commentators at ringside. Jim Watt, and first of all, let's say good evening to Reg Guttridge.
Well, hello then, and draw up your ringside seat with us. There's great expectations here, there really is. All the tinsel has gone now, all the sparring hype has gone, and really, it wasn't promotional hype in the sense that these fellas really wanted to have a go at each other. They didn't have to call press conferences. There's a genuine needle here.
Ladies And
So the MC, Alan Hughes, then.
Promoted by Matchroom in association with Top Rank and sponsored by the Daily Mirror, we are proud to present the main attraction of the evening. A middleweight contest at 11 stone 6 pounds over 12 rounds, each of 3 minutes duration, for the WBO Middleweight Championship of the World. Your judges for the contest are Darby Shirley of Las Vegas, John Stewart of New Jersey, and Bob Ballo of Miami in Florida. Your WBO supervisor is Vice President Ed Levine of the United States of America. And your British Boxing Board steward in charge, their Vice Chairman, Nipper Reed. Your referee for the contest is Richard Steele of Las Vegas, and your timekeeper, Harry Foxall of Stoke-on-Trent. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting and introducing to you in the blue corner with the white and the red shorts, with 24 wins from 24 contests, 14 inside the distance, the challenger for the title from Brighton in Sussex, Chris Eubank! And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent in the red corner with the black shorts, with 27 wins from 28 contests, 25 inside the distance, defending the title from West End in London, the WBO Middleweight Champion of the World, Nigel Benn! At the weigh-in at noon today, Chris Eubank scaled 11 stone 5.5 pounds. Nigel Benn scaled 11 stone 5 3/4 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Well, those introductions, I mean, the way these guys are talking, the fight could be shorter than the introductions. Richard Steele, famous referee in the States, 79th World Championship, his first WBO. He handled Frank Bruno and Mike Tyson, among many others. And Bruno is with us, of course, tonight. And so is Michael Nunn, the world IBF middleweight champion. Let's have a look at these fellas. So he's bet £1,000 he can win in the opening round here, Chris Eubank. Now, is he more show than substance? We'll find out, but don't blink in case you miss the punch. But it might be Benn that throws the punch, and that's the kind of contest this is. Billed, of course, as who's fooling who. So taking a bit of time there because the inspector from the World Boxing Association is handing out the coagulates. They won't let them, the seconds, bring their own. They hand it out in the corner. First time that I've seen that. Well, there it is now. Take a deep breath, as we are at ringside here. And let's hope, well, it lives up to half the expectations, this fight. That'll do. He's such an unusual man, this Chris Eubank. He really is. Oh, he's coming outside on. Throwing punches back early. We knew Benn would come out firing, as he always does. But Eubanks is answering him, even if he is doing it on the run.
He's doing it the wrong way in the first round, Reg. His hands are too low. He's very difficult to catch Eubank, but he doesn't have a tight defence. I thought he would have tightened it up already. He looks as though he's going to try to evade the punches rather than block them, and that could be dangerous. Although he's coming back with decent shots of his own. But
yeah, he's looking to win that bet, Jim. Got 40 to 1. He could win in the first. A little arrogant shake of the head there. Or confident, as he likes to call it.
So I suppose we have to remember that Benn has been shaken in most of his recent contests, Reg.
Yeah, his recovery has been better since he was knocked over by Michael Watson.
Well, what's happened, Reg, he's actually landed his own bombs before he's had to recover most of the time. But Benn's a little bit slow getting them off the mark in the first round here.
Oh, he's elusive enough, isn't he, Eubank? A real slippery character indeed, and of course unbeaten.
Ben not quite as cavalier as we've seen him. He looks as though he's trying to pick shots, so we can't fault him for that.
Now, going in and waging war recklessly might have come off second best very early. So a minute to go in the opening round.
Well, the first decent shot he landed have come from Eubank, Reg. And there's nothing wrong with his temperament. He looks very calm as they come into the ring. He really fancies the job.
Well, we've never been sure with the 24 wins, really, because the opposition hasn't been that good. But this was very much a proving fight for Eubank, and in the opening round is proving pretty useful.
Well, he's kept Benn at bay so far. Benn's had to reach with his punches. He's not getting right in and getting the shoulder behind him.
Oh, well, we don't want that. The old wrestling game, 2 falls or a submission. So the countdown for the end of the first. And it looks like he's blown his bet there, Eubank. But with the money they're getting tonight, well, maybe it doesn't matter. Well, there's all sorts of guesses on what they're earning. So there's the rundown on Benn then, of course. The one loss was to Michael Watson, who's also on this card tonight. And while he's been doing that, Benn they're just looking around there. I'm surprised that they already need the wash and brush up with the Vaseline there. Percy Armstrong from America. And that's Vic Andretti, former champion, in the corner there. He seems to have done Ben a lot of good during his training in Miami. And while a lot of that was going on, Chris Eubank was posing, walking around the ring.
10 seconds.
Jim, it's interesting to say the least.
Yeah, but Eubank hasn't the tight defence I would expect him to have. He's looking to evade punches rather than to block them. And that obviously is dangerous with Nigel Benn. But his own punches are good and sharp in the first round.
Oh, it's getting rough. See, now that tires a fighter out when they lean on like that, Jim, doesn't it? When he really pushed down there.
Yeah, I think he's just looking to mess Ben about as much as possible.
Yeah, Ben obviously likes a more conventional style. Doug DeWitt and Oran Barkley, they're both stand-up sluggers that he nailed.
So Ben just started to find his range at the end of the first round. He's found it a bit quicker in the second round here. So Eubank's trying to pull away from punches, Reg, and that's very dangerous for a man like this. You've got to block these punches, especially in the first 3 rounds.
Very difficult to weigh up Eubank the whole time, do you know what I mean? He doesn't let you know what he's doing, and he certainly won't let the opponent know what he's doing.
Well, Ben is going to make him fight tonight, Reg. He's not going to get away with what he's got away with in the past. Ben, it's a more thoughtful approach from Ben than we've seen in the past. But he's really staying with Eubank all the way, and he's going to make him fight, Reg.
I think he has more boxing ability than generally credited, Ben. After all, he did win the ABA championships. That was a good shot, that was.
This is when Ben's dangerous, when he's got caught himself.
See, now he's doing his slow motion act, Eubank. It's incredible. He stands like a posing statue, and then he'll walk around and do a sort of Napoleonic strut. So into the final minute of the second then. Scheduled for 12.
Oh, that was a shot, Reg. Well, Eubanks has taken that one, Reg,
yeah,
so he can take a shot. That was the one.
Yeah. Other fighters haven't stood up with punches like that from Ben, have they?
That was a good shot, and that certainly got a reaction from Eubank. That was a lovely shot, Reg.
That's answered a lot of questions, Jim, almost the final piece of the jigsaw, really, because I often wondered whether he could really take that good a punch, because he's never had a puncher compared with Benn.
And Eubank is going to have to come back with punches, Reg. He's not going to be able to strut. He's going to have to try and hurt Benn. He's done it, Reg.
He's done Benn by the look of it. He chopped that right hand down, though. He's right above us, Benn, almost falling down in the ring on us here.
This is what we've seen Benn so dangerous from this position. Here it comes.
He's always saying he likes to battle back, Bevel. He's got to do it here. He tried to do it with Watson, but it didn't work.
Benn's legs are shaky.
Oh, and good job. Richard Steele, good referee, threw himself in the middle there. And meanwhile, he has a little strut around there, doesn't he, Eubank? Now, that was a little bit of the writing on the wall, I think, there for Benn. He was banging trouble.
Well, Benn staggered back to his corner there, Reg. He was in bad shape at the end of that round. He hurt Eubank, but Eubank has taken the play right away from him again. I think Eubank's plan should be to go for Benn now, because he's getting caught too often. He's too loose. He wants to start attacking, I think. He must have a great chance. He badly shook Benn just at the end of that round.
And there are the statistics. Well, you can throw those out the window at times with a fight like this, can't you? Two boxing brothers, Peter and Simon. Spell their name with an S on, but he decided to knock the S off.
10 seconds.
So they must be saying, well, now listen, you know this fella's a bit dangerous. You knew that when you came in, now you know for sure. Round 3. Suddenly had a little wobble in that second round there, Benn. In fact, quite a wobble. It was almost as if somebody had dropped the carpet from under his feet.
Benn's caught him again, but Eubank is taking these punches well, Reg. So Eubank at this stage certainly looks to have the stronger chin.
It's amazing, Jim, for a fellow who openly says he doesn't like the game and calls it brutal and all that kind of thing. He's a brave guy. Started his career, by the way, in America only with 4-round fights, and he won them all, 5 of them in Atlantic City.
So Eubank is still backing off, Reg, and you would think after the success he would come forward, try to take the play away again. Benn is even more dangerous when you allow him to come forward.
So the first minute gone then in the third round, and it's quite incredible the way Eubank soaked up those punches and then came straight back. Almost contempt, Jim, isn't it?
Yeah, his tactics are all wrong, Reg. He's getting away with it, he's doing well, but he should have a tighter defence. He's swaying away from punches. He's taken a full-bloody jab. That's the second he's took in the last couple of seconds. He really is doing it the wrong way, especially after hurting Benn so badly in the previous round.
So the betting favourite was 11-8 on Benn. There might be a few twitchy backers around in this quite big audience. Oh, as you say, Jim, that's when he's dangerous, isn't he? Like a wounded animal, the way he flies back there, Benn. He's trying to draw Eubank into a close quarter fight now.
Well, Eubank's nailed him with a couple of nice uppercuts, but when Benn's low, you know what's coming over, Reg. You know his hooks that are coming over. That is when he's so dangerous, when he bends in front of you.
So big bad Benn, a little bit reddened around the left eye there, Jim. Notice that?
Yeah, well, he's taken a few shots. I see some blood in Eubank's left eye, but it's below, it's on the cheek. So it shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, he rocked there as well. End of the third. In that third round, when Benn managed to nail Eubank, I tell you, the surprise stayed on his face after the pain had gone. Eubank always telling us he's the craftsman of the two, Jim, and he's got kind of an artful butchery about him, isn't he? He's very clever the way he does it.
Yeah, he has. Oh, a lovely shot from Eubank. Is he going to follow up this time? And this is what he should have been doing, trying to back Benn up. He should never allow Nigel Benn to come forward. See, once again, that's when he's dangerous.
Propped himself on the ropes here. He took a few unnecessary punches, well, none of them are necessary, but he really could have got away from the ropes quicker than that. It's a bit worrying for Benn if he wants Eubank to punch himself out. I don't think that's going to happen.
See, Eubank still swaying from the waist, Reg, and that's why he's been caught so often by Benn. He obviously has a good chin because he's taken some crackers already. But I would have thought he'd have got his hands up a little bit more and his chin down. But he's swaying from the waist, and that's not going to work.
Wondered when Eubank came into the ring, Jim, whether we were going to get a kind of hit and hop it runaway type of action from him, but that hasn't been the case.
No, well, he certainly gave us a show, Reg. He said he could do the business. Well, he's mixing it and a work it. But that was a lovely uppercut shot. It shoot Eubank just as it landed, but his head's cleared again. I think that was more of a stumble, Reg.
Well, no, he banged that left hook to the ribs as well. It's not. And he fought Kid Milo, I noticed. Eubank didn't seem to like that body punching. Well, who would? But he showed it too much there, didn't he?
And he's springing with his right hand at his. He's not throwing the same short, tight punches that he was throwing before Eubank. He's starting to stretch, and his defences have come apart a little bit in this round, Reg.
Well, he's got some durability at this stage, but I don't know whether he's breathing heavy or what. It gives the impression that he is, but maybe that's just a normal mannerism.
There's the big mouse coming up in Benn's left eye. The soft tissue under the eye has really swelled up.
Yeah, it has. They'll have to get the ice pack on that and get an end swell, as they call it, and iron it away between rounds. He's nodding to him right above us. It's almost as if Eubank tried to talk to Benn there.
That's going to be a problem with Benn's vision, Reg, if this goes much longer.
Oh, that really would be a shame if injury causes a stoppage. So he goes for a walk at the end of the round, Eubank, but he had to show him back to the other corner there, Richard Stewart, the referee. Benn, he was going back to the wrong one. That eye's given him some problem. Jim, let's have a look at some replay here now.
Yeah, well, Eubank still doing the wrong thing, backing off. And that was a lovely uppercut. Now, that would have shaken quite a few people, Reg. That was as good as the shots that put Bartley over. But Eubank is taking the shots. So if things go his way tonight, then we can't say he didn't do it the hard way, because he's taken some real good shots. But that was a punch that staggered him, Reg. I think it was more of a balance than he was actually hurt. But Benn a little bit more ragged now than he was earlier.
10 seconds.
So coming out, there it is, you see, almost closed, and Percy Armstrong, American cornerman, all the time worked that away. There it is again, he's doing that, you see. Round 5. That's the point.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Sorry, Jim, I was going to say that, you know, we talk about the toughness of Nigel Benn, but toughness isn't always related to winning in the boxing business.
As I say, Reg, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of long rights are thrown from Eubank now, because that eye is in pretty bad shape, the left eye of Benn.
Tell you what, Jim, it'll be a problem to keep that going for 12 rounds. I meant to keep him in condition to fight for 12 rounds.
Well, the nice thing about Benn, he doesn't too often have to go 12 rounds, but he's landed cracking shots and Eubank has taken well. I'm not saying he can take them indefinitely, but he's taken some beauties and he hasn't even really been shaken. There, that was another one, Reg, another good right hand. Eubank takes that well again.
A little bit more caution now with Benn, isn't he? So he's standing off there, trying to wait for somebody's lead.
Good, accurate punch. That's the kind of boxing we expect from Eubank, making the other man miss and punishing him. Too often he's made Ben miss and then he's grabbed hold of him. I think this vision thing might be a problem with Ben now. He's getting nailed with a couple of sleek little counter punches. This could be his vision going.
He's picking his shots well there, Eubank.
Well, this is what we expect of him. Make the other fellow miss and pin him with counters. Discourage him that little bit. Eubank not being backed up quite so much, Reggie. I think he's grown in confidence that little bit. This is where he doesn't want to become arrogant.
Minute to go in round 5. Crowd really baying here. Just waiting for something explosive to happen. I really don't know which one can do it either. Eubank, I think, thinks that battle plans are a distraction. He likes to do the old sort of throwback to bare knuckle days. Boxing skill.
Ben getting caught a little bit more often as he comes in. That could be down to the pace and down to the fact that his left eye is so badly swollen.
Round 6. Working feverishly there on the rather large swelling now, almost plum-sized under Benn's left eye.
Another good left hook from Ben, which Eubank takes again, Reg.
He's really doing his punch picking now. He's posing in his punch picking to Eubank. What confidence he's got.
This is what Eubank is better at. He must have been fearing the first 4 rounds of this battle. He must be thinking, if I get past the first 4 or 5 rounds, then we come into my territory, and that might be the case. And I did notice there was a little kind of friendly pat from Ben at the end of the 5th round. So he certainly has respect for Eubank now if he didn't come into the ring with it. But he's not snarling quite as much as he was at the first bell.
See, it's almost saying, come on, Jim, we can read his lips from here, can't we?
Yes,
Eubank, he's teasing a bit.
He's trying to do now what he should always be doing, trying to make Ben be the one who makes the mistakes. He's trying to draw a lead. There he goes, draws the lead, sticks on the counter. He's taking chances the way he's swaying back from these leads, but he's standing there waiting for them to come, so he's obviously confident he can cope with them.
Well, he's made up his mind. Eubank has got it. Oh! Now, I think he might make a meal of that, the damaged undercarriage there. But he's saying take time off. The referee, who'll give him plenty of time to get over that. There's an obligatory foul-proof protectors have to be worn. This is not a country that has a no-foul rule. I mean, if you hit him low several times, you still could disqualify him. But this referee, well, is unlikely to do that unless it gets persistent. So they are. Plays resumed, and they add the extra seconds then to the end of the round. Now that was a good body punch, didn't it?
Nothing wrong with that one, Reg. That was on target. I think the punch he complained about might have been low, and if I had to be punched low, I wouldn't want Nigel Benn to be the one who was doing it. Benn's revved up, moved into a different gear now.
Yeah, he's juiced up now, isn't he?
But he's still running on to these punches from Eubank. A nice little short right from Eubank.
very difficult fight to read for us, Jim, really, isn't it? Because they're changing so much with each round.
Yeah, well, in the last couple of rounds, Eubank has been the far more accurate of the two. It was close stuff in the first 3 rounds, Reg. But Eubank has certainly been the master. Not the complete master, but things have gone his way the last couple of rounds. Far more accurate.
Frank, are you surprised at what's happening in this fight?
I'm very surprised, but Eubank is a very cool and calm character and a very fit character. Nigel Benn doesn't seem like he's peaking or shining tonight, and it's a very interesting fight.
Let's have a look at that low punch, actually.
Yeah.
What actually happened here?
That was centre wicket. There's certain different things like that happen in boxing, you know, when you go, that's centre wicket.
But accidental, do you think?
Accidental, but that's boxing, you know. You go in there and it's a rough game and things like that do happen, but it's one of the most exciting fights I've been to, Gary, you know.
Do you think that Eubank's going to win this now?
I'm not too sure. If I did think, I'd put some money on it. It's either even Stevens and Eubank looks a favourite at the moment, but Nigel Benn is a very dangerous guy. He can come with any even fight, Gary. Even fight.
So there you are, straight from Frank Bruno's mouth into round 7. And the corner men then for Benn are still working hard to keep that swelling down. There's a lot of anxious faces in that corner, particularly his agent manager Ambrose Mendy, almost leaning in the ring, calling out.
Well, I think as Eubank came into the ring tonight, Reg, he must have been wishing it was the 7th round, because obviously the early part of the fight most dangerous. Well, it is the 7th now, so we'll see if his plan of attack holds together.
Well, there's been all sorts of estimates on how much these fellas are going to earn, but they don't really know yet until they get the full takings in, because they're on percentages of gate and ancillary rights, etc., plus, of course, sponsorship by the Daily Mirror.
Benn's got a little more edge on his attack in this round. He was kind of floundering a little bit in the 6th. Looks a little bit sharper now at the beginning of the 7th. Ben's got a problem, Reg. He's just spat out his gum shield.
Yes, it's not obligatory to put it back. The British rule has now come that if a boxer's gum shield is knocked out, they can replace it, but it's the
Actually,
WBO rules.
He just took it out and spat, and maybe some blood out or something. He had a problem with his mouth there, but I think he just held the gum shield in his glove and spat out.
Well, certainly Eubank's never had his problem with his mouth, Jim, in or out of the ring. Oh, he's got him in a headlock there, isn't he?
Well, I think Ben has realised the 5th and 6th weren't his best rounds, so he's trying to... Oh, 2 good shots now. Will Ben take those, Reg?
So he knows instantly, Eubank, when he's got the man in trouble.
This is where Eubank must be careful.
He's saying, OK, come on, now Ben's answering him back. I thought that would happen. The referee might just calm them down a bit and say, I don't want any talking, I'm the only guy who's paid for the talking, apart from the commentators. Another low blow, and he's going to make a meal of that. But they're calling Ben on, saying, take no notice, the corner, get into him.
That just looked like a borderline shot to me, Reg. Is that a little bit of Eubank's character slipping there? I don't know, but that just looked like a borderline shot then.
Almost egg-sized, Jim, that swelling under the eye. This corner there, saying I want you to weave and duck your way in under those punches. He might be closing Ben, but he's not exactly pouring at some kind of unfamiliar object. He's managing to get them through.
I mean, you have to hand it to Ben. I mean, a few times in his career he's had to grit his teeth, and he's always managed, apart from the Michael Watson thing, possibly, but he's always managed to do it and come blasting back. surprised that Eubank hasn't tried to make better use of his jab, because Benn does come straight on in.
Yeah, exactly. Professes to be a master of the no larks. Oh, what? Almost came out on our laps there, Jim. A little bit of a slip. He's arguing with the referee. It was a slip. But there's no point in him shouting at him, because he got clipped at the same time.
I think it was a bit of both, Reg. It was a slip, but it was a punch that caused him to slip, so you got to count.
Three American judges, remember, if this does go 12. Referee doesn't vote. And the three knockdown rule, if one boxer goes down 3 times, the same boxer, in only 1 round, it's automatically over. And that is how Benn retained his championship last time up against Iran Barkley in the opening round.
Yeah, he looks just a little bit worse, Reg. They've done a good job with it in the corner, but just the swelling's gone up slightly.
Minute to go in the 8th. It's sparring for openings again, Jim. They go a bit mad at times, and then they stand and look at each other like this. It's fascinating, isn't it, really?
Yeah, well, the 5th and 6th rounds, the fortune swung in Eubank's favour, and I thought he would have put the pedal down, but full credit to Benn. He came out in the 7th with a good round, and he's raised the pace, and he's kept the pace up.
Trying to do the refereeing as well, Eubank. He's showing that was a rabbit punch back of the neck, but Richard Steele ignored it. I wonder how these judges are scoring it now, Jim. It's not too easy. As you say, Eubank's had a good section in the 5th and 6th there. How would you have it now?
Well, I found it swaying about. I had Benn ahead after 3 rounds. After 5, Eubank came right back in. He just nicked himself. And then Benn's come back in again, had a couple of good rounds. So it's really pretty even at this moment, Reg.
So the referee forgot about diving in instantly, as he's been doing. But they just did the stare there, I'm glad to say. There was no extra time punching there. Ronnie Davis there, who used to manage Eubank, is working in the corner.
Well, the punch came over, Reg. A punch landed. It caught him on the shoulder and the neck. It wasn't really a tremendous punch, but a punch did put him over. More of a slip. But I think the referee could be forgiven for calling it a knockdown. A punch put him over.
And there it is again. Now, there's a full view of that swollen eye there of Benny's. Well, that to me was a punch and not a slip, although he objected to it, Eubank.
10 seconds.
And we're getting ready now. There it is for round 9.
Seconds out. Round 9.
So it's all about the last furlong, as it were, and the stamina. One trying to impose his will on the other one, as well as his skill. The IBF champion right behind us here must be weighing this one up as a potential opponent, potential challenger. There's already plans, if Benn wins, for him to fight Steve Collins, the Dubliner who fights in the States and has already challenged for the world title.
Eubank is becoming a little bit negative now, Reg. He threw a punch and missed, and he ducked away down. You know, he's not quite as positive in his approach in this round as he's been earlier. He's going to have to psych himself up. Maybe he needs to land a couple of shots like that just to bring his confidence back.
He has finished a 12-rounder, actually, Eubank against an Argentinian, but that was an easily forgotten fight, actually. Benn would like to be able to work to the body a bit more, Jim, wouldn't he, and make the head fall. But he tucked his arms closely in there, Eubank. Not easy to nail him. Especially as he's always moving, circling.
Yeah, well, against awkward fighters who move like Eubank, it's sometimes good policy to go to the body, but it's maybe a little bit late for that now, Reg. I think Benn has to keep doing what he's doing, just keep forcing him back and try to out-punch him, keep his punch rate higher than Eubank's. So Eubank wants to slow the pace, to fight in little bursts, pick away, a couple of punches, then back on his bike again. Benn has to raise the pace and maintain it.
He's a bit of a moaner, Jim, isn't he?
Yeah, which is usually a good sign for the other fellow. When your opponent moans to the referee, it usually means he's not too happy, things aren't going his way.
I remember when your manager would say that to fighters in the corner, stop feeling sorry for yourself.
Well, Benn is the one at the moment who has been prepared to grit his teeth and show how much he wants this championship. Eubank just a little bit negative.
Well, that punch landed on the back of his leg, actually, as he was falling. I think he was falling for that.
That was Benn.
Oh, what a shot that
Shot
is.
really shook him.
Opened him up with the left hand and then shot the right hand over and it connected. There's the countdown. If he did go down, the count would continue.
Ben's shaking, Reg.
Oh, right to his boots, Jim.
Benn is shaking. The eyes watch Reg. This will be the finish of the belt.
And it's all over in the 9th round. And would you believe in Benn's corner, they looked as though they were objecting to that for a minute. Why was it stopped? But I think he was right to dive in there. Apart from the eye closing, he was also getting punished at that point, Jim.
Reg, Benn was finished at that point. The only thing that was going to save him was the bell. He wasn't going to save himself. And when the bell is going to ring, it's nothing to do with the referee. When a fighter is out of a fight to stay, he's got to stop the fight. Bad luck for Benn. A few seconds later, the bell would have rung, probably got him recovered again. But that was a tremendous left-hand shot that shook him. Eubank, to me, had become a little bit negative, but he'll probably tell us later that he bided his time and he knew it was coming. But we'll see what he says. But a tremendous finish. Well done, Eubank.
Yeah, I must say, he answered all the questions as far as I was concerned, because I have to say I was terribly confused about Eubank. Seen him quite a few times, never sure whether he was a really good fighter or not. But it looked there, I tell you, he's taken good shots. He's done a bit of acting, but, well, you can always do that. I mean, Ali did, but, of course, he was exceptional.
Ladies and gentlemen, the WBO champion.
So the formal announcement then.
To the winner, Chris Eubank.
Well, nobody can begrudge Eubank a victory, Reg. He took his best shots. He boxed well. He boxed the way he wanted to box. He controlled the action. A lovely performance from him.
Well, he's crying with joy there, promoter Barry Hearn, and here's Gary Newbon.
Chris, congratulations, that was a brilliant victory. Unexpected by a lot of people, but you said all along you would win. I've never known you lost for words, and I know you're very emotional, but we'd love to know all about that back at home.
He's the hardest punch I've ever seen. He's the hardest punch I've ever come up against in my life. I don't know. I beat him on determination. Karen, I told you I'd do it. Well, I don't suppose I did, but I knew I'd do it. He was good, but yeah, I stuck with it, and he hurt me bad, man. But he's good. But I told you my chin is cast iron. I told you they couldn't touch it. If anyone can touch somebody's chin, it's Nigel Benn. Karen, can we get married now? Can we get married?
Listen, this is a new side.
Marry me, Karen.
You want to get married now?
Yeah, I want to get married.
Well, you're in all sorts of emotions. Can I just say this? You are crying now. Now, all we've seen is an arrogant Chris Eubank. This is an emotional Chris Eubank.
He extended me like I've never known one could be extended. He's definitely, the man is just an animal. I mean, his strength. He's not an animal. He come over to me, he shake hands, and he's an unbelievable puncher. And I said I wouldn't embrace him or anything, but you see, he's won my respect, you see, because he hurt me up the guts. He opened my tongue's open. My tongue's open. He hit me with shots I never knew existed.
But you keep saying that, but the thing about this fight is you have hit him with so many shots that have had him rocking.
Listen, this man ain't chinny. Chinny? This man can't be chinny. I hit him with everything, man. Karen, I done it. Dad, I love you, Dad. I done it.
Come on. It's an amazing performance, and it's surprised a lot of people.
I need to go to a hospital.
Yes. Well done.
Thank you.
You can see the end of it, actually. Listen, I'm sure you'd love to see the end of it. Chris?
Yeah?
Talk to us about it.
My corner, Ronnie Davis kept on telling me the 1-2, the left, the straight left and right hand. The right hand over the top, or the straight right hand, and I just kept on trying. He said I was going to lose it, so I could nick it, but I was going to lose it. But this man is a phenomenal puncher.
Don't give up, Nigel. You said he's going to quit.
But Chris, Michael Nunn was watching at ringside. Now, looking at if you're going to go forward, you're going to have to start keeping your guard up.
Sometimes my guard being down helps. I don't know. I'm in too much pain to talk, really.
What? Pain?
I'm in too much pain to talk. Excruciating this.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. The new WBO middleweight champion of the world. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Dad, I've done it. Peter Eubank, I've done it. You said I couldn't do it. I've done it, man. Keep taking.
Ben. Stewart. I've got Ben.
I'm sorry.
Nigel.
He was addressing the audience there, Nigel Benn, actually. And we couldn't catch that with all the bedlam that was going on. As you can see, the ring looks like the London Underground in a rush hour. It always does. They do their best, the security boys, to keep them out, but there are always people who shouldn't be in there. So I wonder what the Boxing Board of Control are thinking now. They're not club members yet of the WBO.
Well, Nigel, your dreams have gone out the window, though.
No, my dreams haven't gone out the window. It's just that I thought Chris Eubank is tougher than what I expected. He caught me in about the 4th round. In my eye, I couldn't see a thing, but not taking nothing away from Eubank. What a tremendous fighter he is. He deserves it, man. He deserves it. Well, you know, I don't know. Now I go home, sit down, decide what I'm doing. But I don't know no more. Honestly, I don't know. The man beat me good, fair and square.
Did you underestimate him?
No, I didn't. I overestimated him. And it turned out that this guy was tough.
Gave him too much respect.
You know, and he caught me with some shots. But, you know, good luck to him. You know, all I can say really, you know, I do detest Chris Eubank, you know, more than anybody else, but, you know, I can't knock him for the way he worked. And now I go home, see my daughter. I'm just in Barbados. And
Nigel, I know it's very disappointing, but just talk about the fight for a moment. I mean, there were times when you were in a bit of trouble.
Oh,
a lot of trouble.
What do you mean about a little bit of trouble?
A lot of trouble.
Yeah, of course I was. And that's why I got stopped. You know, I was in a lot of trouble. But, you know, that's what you go through. This is the second defeat that I've had. And I don't know no more.
What you said at the press conference beforehand that you're going to hang up your gloves if you lose. Is that going to be the case? You said you were going to.
I want to, but my manager don't want me to.
Well, Gary, let me answer that quickly. First of all, Nigel Benn employs me. He fought tonight, but he fought the wrong kind of fight. His disillusion, his problem really is, he just...
Last 5 seconds.
He grossly overestimated Chris, but Chris Eubank won. Tomorrow morning we'll sit back and we'll talk about it, but I think Nigel will be back. There's a lot of fire in the oven yet.
Okay.
I'd just like to say...
Just saying that, Rose, we're running out of time. Thank you.
Well, if you want proof that boxing is the toughest game of all, I think we've seen it here at the NEC tonight. What a fight. And let's hope that Nigel Benn does indeed get back into the ring once again. I think we could all stand for Benn Eubank too. We've got more World Championship boxing here on ITV next Saturday. Harold Graham against Julian Jackson for the WBC Middleweight Championship. ITV next Saturday night. That's it then from the NEC. Good night to you all.